Looking for some killing tips on how to master TOEFL? Stay here with me and I'll tell you right after the intro. Hello guys, welcome to channel Nova Tips. I'm Leo Nova and I'm gonna tell you important tips that helped me a lot during my journey to come here to the US and live here. The topic I'm gonna tell about in this video, it's gonna be the fearsome TOEFL, the English proficiency test required by several institutions here in the US and many other countries in the world. If you wanna watch this video entirely in Portuguese, just click on the link below in the description right here. So let's get into it. Let's talk about TOEFL. For those who have already done some research on the internet, you know that TOEFL is a proficiency test divided into 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Each one worth 30 points, giving a total of 120 points for the entire test. Each institution has its own criteria and the minimum score can vary widely. This minimum usually ranges from 60 to 100 points, but you need to find what is the minimum the institution you want to apply for requires. TOEFL is not the only proficiency test available. There are several others as well. There's another one that people usually take, which is called IELTS. If your institution allows you to take both, I made a video comparing them so you can know which one feels more comfortable for you. Knowing which proficiency test you're gonna take helps you to study smarter. I took this test 4 times until I reached the grade I needed, so I would say I learned a lot in this process. Despite having spent a fortune on applications, books, online courses, I learned an important lesson that will be my first tip here. Tip number 1. Do not spend your money buying a bunch of books and online courses. And there's a lot out there.
But Nova, aren't these materials good?
Don't get me wrong, they are great. It's just not necessary to buy them to get a good grade in the test. One of the best sources of studies to prepare yourself to the TOEFL is the content already available here on the internet. Leave your comment in case you want to know which is the best free content here, okay? Preparing for this exam is too exhausting, so it is important to learn how to study smart instead of just studying hard, especially because it can lead you to what happens in the next tip. Tip number 2. Be aware of overconfidence in yourself, even before the exam.
Oh, Nova, no way. I'm too insecure. There's no such a thing for me. Don't worry.
Well, I thought the same way too, you know? What happened is that we go on studying, doing different tests and, starting to understand how the test works until we reach a point that when you are exhausted and say, that's enough, I'm done, I need 80 points, I'm doing 20 points in each section, that's all I need. It's not. That's where danger lies. During the exam, there's a lot of things going on, and a little hesitation can drain down your opportunity. That happened to me at the very first time I took the test. I was 1 point behind. During the exam, you end up doing a little less than you were doing at home while practicing. And all of this could be related to what I'll tell you in this next tip. Tip number 3. Don't allow yourself to stress out. I don't know where you're going to take the test. Each place has a different procedure. The 4 attempts I made was here in the US, and each location has a different process before getting into to take the test indeed. You see people before prohibited from entering because their names were misspelled or they do not have their IDs. Please do not forget to bring your ID or passport or whatever identification you provided when registering for the TOEFL, okay? Anyway, there's a lot going on around you. You are already worried because it's now or never. You spent a lot of money to be there going to that exam. Weekends without going out with your friends and family to study. Anyway, the psychological pressure is really high and nervousness will negatively affect your grade. If for any reason you jump into a cycle of I'm not succeeded, it's over, stop immediately. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, compose yourself again, and say to yourself, I am capable, I am ready for this moment, I've been working on it for weeks, months, I will make it. It's better you lose like 15 to 30 seconds to calm you down, even a minute if so, but come back 100% focused on the exam, because otherwise it'll be over for you. Even because you need to control yourself. Focus on what I'll tell you in this next tip. Tip number 4, time management. This test is probably different from all the other you have done in your life so far. Despite being an English proficiency test where theoretically your knowledge of English is being tested, in practice, this test measures how you are ready to take this test. That's awkward, isn't it? But that's the truth. I know some Americans who took this test and scored worse than me. Although the test is obviously in English, you must know how to take the test.
Right. Now, Nova lost his mind completely. He sounds like I've never done a test before.
Look, I strongly believe that you probably have done countless tests in your life, but this test is different. It has a whole specific process to do so. The version of TOEFL that 90% of people need is the IBT internet-based, and for this reason, there's an order to take the test. Besides, you don't have time to do everything you want to in a reasonable time. For example, in the reading section, which is the first one, you probably have 3 or 4 passages, around 30 to 40 questions, and something around an hour to read and answer everything. You won't have time to read the whole text, all the questions, all the options, think about it. No, you just don't have enough time for it. Well, this video is getting really long and I don't like it, so I decided to record a video with tips for each section with specific tips. So the links are down here below in the description for you to take a look at, okay? But do you know what really helps to get ready for the test really fast? That's what I'm gonna tell you in this next tip. Tip number 5, get used to English. It seems very obvious, but nobody does it because they have no idea how important it is. Just to make a brief comment here, when I came to the US, I thought I knew English. I had already studied in Brazil, worked at speaking English sporadically. When I got here, whoa, I felt like an alien trying to get along with the civilization. I didn't understand a word they said. So, to summarize this part, read a lot in English, watch a lot of movies in English, with subtitles in English as well, listen to music and pay attention to the lyrics. And to complete this tip, also follow what I'm gonna tell you right now. Tip number 6, think in English.
But Nova, you just told me get used to English. Are you giving the same tip twice? You crazy?
No, I'm not going crazy, I think. One thing is to expose yourself to English. Listen music, reading books, watching movies. Another thing is to think in English. Because how is the natural process our brain go through? We hear in English, we translate into our native language, we answer back in our native language, in our head, and then we translate into English. And finally, we answer. So there's a very long process, and you will not have enough time to do during the test, trust me.
Nova, how do I think in English without going through all this process?
Well, there's a strategy that I started using and it was very efficient, at least for me. You can test it too. Several times during the day, I talked to myself in English. Things that I had done, things I was going to do, things I was doing, all in English. If you can speak out loud, even better. Well, will your friends or family believe you are going crazy? Probably yes, but you should do whatever it takes to master the exam. I also did it before I go bed. Something like this. I woke up this morning about 9 a.m. I brushed my teeth, and for breakfast I had bread, cheese, milk, and then I went outside to go to school. What else? Doing this not only improve your English, but also improve your ability to memorize. Think about it. Now, during the process of getting used to English and thinking in English, there is something very, very important that you need to know to make these techniques more efficient. That's what I'm gonna tell you right now. Tip number 7. When you are reading a text, listening to a music, watching a movie, don't stop in every word you are not familiar with. Just go ahead, watch the entire movie, listen to the music until the end, get the general idea of the story, understand what is happening first. Then you read or listen again to go over the details and the words you didn't get. If you stop at every single word you don't know, you will focus only on vocabulary, and if your goal is just vocabulary, get a dictionary and read it. That's not the point here. Although the vocabulary is very important, there will be questions in the exam about the general idea, and you will not be required to know all words in the passage. What's more, even without knowing the meaning of the word, you can guess just by analyzing the context of the sentence. A very important extra tip here: do not use Google Translator. You have to force your brain to think in English, remember? So instead of translating what you don't know, type in your browser, what does the word you want to know mean? This way you will have an explanation of the word in English, further enriching your vocabulary. The words that you find interesting, write them down in a Word document or in an Excel spreadsheet and leave them in your Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever. Something that you have easy access to. This tip is really helpful and saved me during the exam, trust me. Thank you very much for watching this video until the end. The links for the videos I'm talking more in depth about each section are down here in the description. And if you like it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, share with your friends who are struggling to get good grades on Toefl as well, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay on top of what's coming. Questions about this video or any suggestions are more than welcome. Just leave a comment down here, okay? See you on the next video.